I'll tell you what, friends, today I am seriously feeling this prompt. I was like, I don't know why National Stress Awareness Day is a thing, but I'm feeling the awareness today. I am feeling the awareness. Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. I'm so very excited that you are here. We are kicking off another month of top 5 Wednesday prompts, and I am super pumped because I really love filming these videos, and I'm so glad that you guys do too. But in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, in a nutshell, basically each week I answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I do manga to reflect that said prompt. And if you're curious about what the other prompts are for the rest of this month or like to join the group, definitely check out the link down below in the description. Today's prompt is all about characters who need a break. We have all probably read those characters or even watched an anime where we're like, dude, you are just stressed to the max. You need a break. And so we're just focusing on those characters that we would love to be like, yo, you need to chill. You need to calm down. Let's just pull you out of this stress hotful mess and put you over here and let you just be genuinely able to relax. We're talking about these characters because it is National Stress Awareness Day, which I did not know was a thing until this prompt, because I was like, I don't know if I want to know how aware I am of my stress because my kids are sick again, and I'm just really, really thankful to be here. I feel like filming and just talking about manga is very much a de-stressor for me, so like I said, I'm super pumped to be here. But the funny thing is this was actually a harder prompt than I thought about, because I'll go ahead and start off with my honorable mention, and I'm gonna do Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, because I feel like when I think of Zenitsu and then when I think of Usopp from One Piece, both of these guys are like stressed to the ultra max, like ridiculously stressed. Like I feel like if anybody needs a break, it's genuinely them. So I was trying to think of other titles that I feel like who else has that kind of max stress as they do, because you know, if you've seen the anime or you've read the manga, I mean, I don't even know how to put it into words. I just feel like they're either always crying or they're really upset. They're always afraid. They're freaked out, and they're just like, why won't you listen to me? So I tried for the rest of the for the rest of the picks that I have, I tried to put it on that level, but I really feel like Zenitsu and Usopp are just on a whole other like level. I could not think of really any other characters that are up there with them in this of just max stress level all the time. I mean, definitely both of them grow as characters where I feel like they're not quite as stressed. Genuinely, from what I know of through the whole series, they're always a hot, stressful mess all the time. So that was my honorable, well, I guess both Usopp and Zenitsu are my honorable mentions. And so I said, I tried to think of characters that would fit that. And there was really only one other character from shoujo manga that I could think you three would probably be best friends and get along really, really well. And I'm bummed I don't have the actual cover where he is the focus on it, but I'm going to say Yoon from Yona of the Dawn, because I was like, I feel like he is a stressful little being. He's the only one that doesn't necessarily have like these powers that where he can do these superhuman things. He's just a precious little being. I really love Yoon. He's such a great character. And I guess one could definitely probably maybe argue that he's more angry than stressed, but I really feel when I was thinking back and I was skimming some of my Yona of the Dawn volumes, I was like, there's so many times where like he feels that nobody's listening to him, like with, I think I was rereading volume 5 when they're going to look for the green dragon and he tells Hawk like, don't get noticed, don't get in any trouble. And what does Hawk do? Totally gets noticed, totally gets involved, and he's like, I'm sorry, Yoon. And Yoon is totally upset when he realizes they're totally involved. So I feel like that happens to Yoon quite a few instances in Yona of the Dawn. And so I feel like, yeah, that he has that same Zenitsu and Usopp vibe of just being stressed about what these characters do. Grant, you know, as the series goes on, it definitely gets more intense, more stressed, I feel like, for all of the characters, but I do feel that Yoon could definitely very much need a break from everything that goes on, and that he could just stay at the library like he was in the later volumes before certain things go down, that he could just stay there and go learn and go read and just have some hot tea and just have a really nice time. Like, I feel like Yoon really needs that. Granted, with other things that happen, like I said, I feel like all of the characters honestly need a break, but I feel like Yoon's probably the most stressed at this point. So I'm so happy I was able to feature him because I was really racking my brain and I saw my of the Dawn volumes. I was like, hold up. I was like, Yoon fits this so perfectly. And I will just put the cover here that I wanted to feature because I really love this cover. I cannot wait for it to come back in stock so that I can actually get my back order of that volume because, like I said, Yoon is so precious. I really love his character. He's so great and was very excited that he has a good amount of, I was about to say screen time, a good amount of page time in volume 37. No, I still have not read it, but I have skimmed it and did see a lot of him and was very excited about that. For number 2, I'm going to feature this manga again. I feel like I featured it so much last month, and I'm so sorry, but when I was thinking of people that came to mind, this girl definitely came to mind, and that is Nina from Beast of Abigail. I really enjoyed this series so incredibly much. I did a video review last Friday featuring it right before Halloween because I just felt like it was a great non-spooky read at this time of the season. Granted, I know we're in November, so we're sort of like transitioning, but before that transitioning, I felt it was really good. I feel like Nina is definitely not nearly as stressed as Yoon and Zenitsu and Usopp, but I'm unsure of how much I could say because I don't think I featured in that video review. Yeah, I did a little bit, but I don't think I went in depth, and so I'm gonna try and keep it a little bit vague so it won't be spoilery, but I do feel like Nina, when she's at this academy, that she is very much stressed. She can't have anybody find out that she's a human because if they find out that she's actually a human and not a Luga, which is sort of like a werewolf-like creature, she's probably going to die. Like, they're going to attack her. She's not going to last in this academy. Things are going to go down. So I feel like throughout the course of this volume, and especially like as it gets closer, or not just this volume, but throughout the series, though probably, yeah, specifically this volume, Nina's really on edge. I mean, definitely she is very compassionate and she is very much quick to act on justice, which makes her an incredible heroine. That's why I really love her character. But there's times where she's completely freaking out. She doesn't know what she's supposed to do. She's totally lost, confused in this place. Thankfully, there are people that just, specific character that just takes her under his wing. I love his character so much. But I do feel that just because of the events surrounding Nina's life, that she is very much stressed. I mean, when you're like living your everyday life, you're looking for a second chance and you're like, oh, this is great. You're living in this fairy tale like world. And then suddenly you are in a prison. You are hated because you're purely human. That's very stressful, very stressful. Felt because of that she would be a really good pick. There is something that helps her disguise her humanness that I specifically am thinking of, but that is a spoiler that as much as I can say, I do feel like Nina could very much use a break and have a genuine second start where it is happy and it's not like she's fearing for her life or she's afraid that she, just in general, of what will happen to her and if she'll ever see her family again. Yeah, she is a character that definitely could use a much needed break, especially at the beginning of this series. For number 3, my heart breaks on this one and I almost didn't want to feature it, but I sort of skimmed over and I was like, it totally works, but I wish that it didn't. And that is Maria, yes, from Golden Japanesque Yokohama Splendid Romance. A Splendid Yokohama Romance, I mean. Oh my goodness. Oh, this character really deserves a break. I cannot stand her mom. I feel like her mom is the one that puts the pressure on her because she does have blonde hair. This story takes place during the Meiji era and she is not considered full Japanese, and so her mom has her disguise her hair, making, I forget what she makes her put in, but she makes her put something in it to make her hair black, and then she demands that she always hides her blue eyes because the other people around her, especially kids her age, will call her a demon because she looks like a foreigner. So she is always on edge in this story, even in the second volume of she has to always be hiding, and then if somebody finds out, she is like super stressed, and of course something's gonna happen where somebody's gonna find out who she really is, and you know, that stress is like times 10 of what it is in the beginning. I feel like all this stress could be avoided though if her mom would just her mom. I do not like this lady's mom whatsoever. I get that her mom's really afraid. I get that Maria doesn't look purely Japanese, but just there's so many things there, but I do feel that just Maria is a stressed little being and my heart just broke so much for her in her circumstance and how fearful that she really is. Like, I feel like the stress and the fear just go hand in hand of how she's always hiding and she doesn't really smile and that she can't be who she really is. Like, she just can't be herself, and that being herself is totally knocked down time and time again. I do have a video review of this series if you're interested in it. It is so very good. I have only read up to volume 2 do find it's a refreshing shoujo manga because it does tackle issues of racism and prejudice, and just very good, very different. I don't know if that continues throughout the series, but specifically in these first 2 volumes, that was just really like, whoa, you don't typically see this in shoujo manga at all. And Maria, if I could just take Maria out of her world, away from her mom, I would just like, girl, we're gonna go shopping for you. We're not gonna worry about your mom later because things happen, and if her mom found out, Maria would be stressed times 10 all over again, and she doesn't need to be stressed. She needs a break to just be able to calm and just be who she really is, to look like her real self and not have to basically dye her hair black so that she can fit in with other people. Just no. We want Maria to not be stressed, and we want her to be her real self. For number 4, I was a little bit iffy on this one, but I'm going to say some things about it. But the manga that I chose for this is I Swear I Won't Bother You Again. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited that we're finally getting volume 3 from 7 Seas come this January. It got pushed back, I think it was like by a year. Anyway, sorry. I had to get that off my chest. So I'm just really thankful that volume 3 is coming, and it has one of my favorite characters on there. I hope that he wins the ship, guys. I ship him so much. Anyway, we're talking about stress. So I feel like this is sort of like a villainous genre, but not, I mean, it is, but it isn't. So I feel like the villainous isekai genre, this would be like, you could just do that purely for this prompt and it would totally work, because always the main character is usually stressed, trying not to hit those red flags so that they don't die or, you know, anything tragic happen to them personally. There were a few different manga I could think of for this one. Tear Moon Empire is one of them. I read an early advance copy of that, and that was very interesting. I feel like that one would work, but I decided to go with this manga because I really, really love this story. Violetta is such an amazing character, and I definitely feel she's another character that does not have the same stress levels as Zenitsu and Usopp do, but I feel like she is always on edge. So I sort of associate that with me, for me personally, that she is stressed because she's always trying to avoid her sister Mary June, because she doesn't want to hit those red flags. But things, you know, they never go as planned when it comes to these manga, like ever. You know what I mean? Like the genre is just known for that. It's like, it's almost like you're just waiting, like, okay, you have these plans, heroine, but here's the reader to see how your plans are not going to succeed the way that you are hoping them to. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad saying that, but I feel like that's what we're living for when it comes to these manga series that fit that genre. Anyway, so back to Violetta. So I do feel she is on the lower stress. Like there are certain scenes where she's like, oh my goodness, she's like right here. What am I doing? Having tea with Prince, is it Claudia? Yeah, Prince Claudia. One of the heroes, I guess you would say, that she is trying to avoid because he also can trip some red flags. And what I really enjoyed about this one is rather than her being basically reincarnated, she goes back in time a year to right before things happen with her own, or like a year before her own death happened. Hopefully I said that right. But she's trying to avoid her half-sister, Mary June. Prince Claudia is one of the triggers, and she just is trying to get out of interacting with him, and then things happen, and she's like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Like I said, like we're just having tea with him, and that's what she's trying to avoid. So when she's in those moments, like even with her half-sister, Mary June, she's just like, oh my goodness, like how did I get in this? I want to get out of this. Like she's hoping that she doesn't mess up. So I feel I guess I'm just capturing this manga for that whole genre of these heroines that are now villainesses and trying to redeem themselves, are always stressed in these situations, trying to keep themselves alive, and seeing how that unfolds. Like I said, I think this one just really came to mind because volume 3 is up. I've pre-ordered it and I just cannot wait to see what happens next, even though technically I still need to read volume 2. I was like, I'm gonna hold off for volume 3, and I'm so glad I did, guys. I'm so glad I did because of that super long, ridiculous wait. Hopefully volume 4 will not be like that. And for number 5, last but not least, I am featuring one of my favorite series this year. So very good, and that is From Far Away. I love this couple. Noriko and Izak are the ultimate shoujo ship, and I will never get over them. I love them so much. So I feel like interchangeably, I do feel like both of them, you could say that they are stressed. I won't go into super details, but I feel like even as the series goes on and the closer that they grow together, things that happen, I do feel like both of them are pretty stressed for a large part of this series, especially Noriko in the beginning. I mean, she's been taken to this new world. She can't speak the language, and that's one thing that I really love about this series. I do have a video review that is coming, so stay tuned for that. It's coming out next month. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting very excited because I'm like Noriko and Izark. But as I was saying, Noriko, she's in this new world. She can't speak their language, and there are these giant worm flowers that are basically coming after her, and she is like, I'm gonna die. You know, more or less. And then Izark comes on the scene because he is ultimate. Here we go, to show you with the weird, where's it at? Right here, yeah. The weird flower creature things, worms. They're pretty creepy. They're pretty creepy. Hoorah to Izark being the ultimate hero and helping save her at the beginning. But I feel like Noriko, she definitely is stressed. I mean, she doesn't know anything about this world. She doesn't know where her family is. She doesn't know how she got here. And Izark, he is not the most sociable guy in the beginning, even though I love Izark. I feel like then just later that Izark gets stressed about things related to Noriko and feels like he is her, well, not he feels, and he is her protector and very much cares for her, and vice versa for Noriko caring for Izark. So I feel like the things that are thrown at this couple is just ridiculous, and they are very much always living on edge. There are very few times that either one of them ever get a break in this series. They're always on the run for their lives or trying to, I don't know, I won't finish that statement just in case if I go into spoilers, but I definitely feel like they're just always living on edge. And I just feel like that this first volume really represents how Noriko's like, I don't know what to do. She only knows Izark and only knows his name, totally thrusted it, like in this new world. And it is so good. I'm trying to reel it in, friends. I'm trying to reel it in, so I will not go into spoilers, but I've really enjoyed just reading this series. I'm currently rereading it for Colleen's book club that she does on Discord, and it is so very good. They are precious, so precious, ultimate ship vibes. But like I said, yeah, I do feel just both of them at different moments. I can't give you examples because it's pretty, I mean, at least I feel like specifically when it gets halfway for sure, and the villain, he is much more active. Yes, they are so stressed, and there are certain elements that play a role in that stress. And even when it gets to the end, I mean, I'm like, you guys need a break. You guys so desperately need a break plenty of times. So I'm just like, I want you to just rip you out of this world and put you in the real world and be like, go on a date. Don't worry about any villains. Don't worry about running for your lives. Just go have fun. They so deserve it individually and as a couple, hands down. I strongly recommend this series. It's very hard to find in print or physically, but you can definitely find the whole series digitally on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure other book retailers. Oh my goodness, all these precious little beings, they just, they need breaks. They need to not be in stressful situations anymore and just be able to take a breather, drink some hot tea, and read some books and just call it a day, or whatever they would need to help them just de-stress. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to hear who are some characters you feel definitely are stressed but need a break. I would love to hear your picks, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!